G'day and welcome to Duckzorly Gaming and another mod review. Today we are reviewing the GTX mods and LS Modcompany Krone Big M 500 2017 edition. And here we have him here, right in front of us. You'll also notice in the background we have the GTX M Big M, which is the 750 model I think it actually has got on the side of it. And also the Duckzorly limited edition Big M, which is a private modded version of the older version of the Big M. Today we're going to review this. This is a recently put out model from, as I said, GTX and LS Modcompany. And I'm going to use the older version as a comparison. As most of you would know, being the proclaimed Lord of the Grass, I love this beast, and I have my own opinions of this new one. Not everyone may agree with them, but anyway, we'll have a look at it and see how we go. So first off, let's have a look around the model. Now the model has got some greatly increased textures and details, which is wonderful. For instance, and if I just go in here and lower the decks down, raise the decks for a minute. In fact, I'll raise them all the way. You'll notice that this version has the cutting blades in the mower heads. As it's coming up, you can see the extra detail. So the older version, so the rear mower decks, same again. The older versions don't actually have that detail at all. All they've got is the actual supports here, and that's it. So nice extra detail added in by the guys at GTX Mods and LS Modcompany. Slightly different aesthetic look. So you notice that, for instance, the back end we have the exhaust and the air filter is a little bit different to the older model. There's the older model there. Okay, so there is some similarities, but there are some subtle changes as well. Detail on the tires, and that's obviously got the newer version of the tires with the text that goes around all the way, all that sort of stuff. And in general, just a much better looking and detailed on the outside. We'll go in cab for a second, and there we have the displays. The displays are of a higher resolution. They are much clearer than the older model, which we'll have a look at in a second. There is no extra animation here. The armrest does fold down once you hop in, but the steering wheel, for instance, doesn't move back like it does on the older model either. You can see the extra detail there on the side of the steering wheel column. The indicator has the symbols and that on there, which the other one doesn't either. So yeah, quite good. All right, so I'll hop out. So just as a quick comparison, we'll jump in this one and have a look at the interior of this. Okay, so there we go. In fact, I've just sent you a furphy. This one doesn't have the steering wheel come down. I don't know what I was thinking there. It has the armrest as well. So similar animations. As you can see, the screens aren't quite as high resolution. Now this is the one that was modified for me by Eustace Pharmer. I'll go and have a look at this one just to make sure we're comparing apples and apples, not oranges. So there you go. So yeah, definitely not as crisp in the screens or anything like that, but the inside and all that's similar, other than the fact that it's more polished in the newer version. Okay, so what we'll do next is we'll hop out. Let's start the engine up and listen to the engine. And we'll start up the mowers once we unload. Okay, as you can see, the mower shaft there is rotating. The cutter heads are rotating. So that's all the extra detail that's been added into this version of the Big M. Okay, so just as a comparison, we'll head on over here and we'll listen to the older version and see what the engine sounds like on startup. Okay, not as loud, doesn't give the audible alarm on startup or anything like that. Now we'll start up the Moldex. Okay, similar sound there. You will notice the shaft is available on the mower deck of the older version as well, but obviously it doesn't have the mower heads. So what we'll do is we'll just raise them up and display that so you can see. So there you go. So it has the shaft on the inside looking into the mower deck, but it doesn't have the cutter head. So that's the difference in the detail. Also the tyres, you'll see Trelleborg, all that sort of stuff is squared off, and the extra detail there. Tyres look a little bit neater without just the one Trelleborg on one side of the tyre. So anyway, all right, that's enough looking at that. Operationally, they're basically exactly the same. We'll get into the shop in a second and have a look at all the specs. But basically it is X to lower or to unfold the mower decks, V to lower. If you press V with them fully folded, they will unfold and lower in one action. So we'll start him up. And most of the grass around here has already been pre-mowed from a previous mod review. But we'll bring up the HUD. So we'll turn him on. Now we'll see if we can cut some grass. Now it's still the same as the previous version. It is the windrow function for the grass. And I've got no grass here to cut at all. Anyway, you have to believe it functions exactly the same as previously. The wide output does not work. It's still awaiting on a patch from Giants into the game. We were under the impression that it might possibly have been this last patch 1.5.1. That hasn't been the case, so we're still holding off for that. So it has exactly the same functions in cutting as what the older version does. Okay, so we'll shut him off there. And what we'll do now is we'll head into the store and do a comparison of the units from the store. Okay, so as you can see, we come into our mowers category, and then you can see here we have our 3 Krone Big M's, the Duckzorly Big M, which we're not going to bother looking at because it has some modified pricing. The GTX M Big M and the Big M 500 2017 editions. This is the new one here. Okay, so what's the differences? 2017 edition is $289,000 to purchase, as opposed to $180,000 for the older Big M. The new version has a 427 kilowatt or 580 horsepower engine. The older version has either a 520 horsepower engine or a 775 horsepower engine. Maintenance costs are $320 a day for the 2017 edition, and $75 a day for the older version, which is probably a bit on the low side. The 2017 edition has 980 litre fuel capacity as opposed to 700 litres for the older version, so it has a higher fuel capacity. Driving speed is 43 kilometres an hour, operating speed of 23 kilometres per hour. For the older version, we have a driving speed of 45 kilometres an hour and 25 kilometres an hour operating speed with the smaller engine, the 520 horsepower. With a 775 horsepower engine, we've got a driving speed of 75 kilometres an hour and a operating speed of 25 kilometres an hour. Both units are 13.2 metres in width for their mowing function, and they both have options available, however they do vary. So the 2017 edition only has the options available for the colour of the rim. There is no options to do any other configurations to it at all. Whereas the older version has a pile of options available to it, being standard or extended hitch mount attaches, the two engines of 520 horsepower and 775 horsepower, main colour configuration, wheel setups. There's 2 separate sets of wheels we can use, rim colour, and also the design, which is a standard or with a beacon light bar on the top of the unit, as you can see here in the image. Okay. The other thing to note, as we said with the other one, we have the extendable hitch with the older version. It's not available with this version. Now the boys at GTX have said They haven't put that on there because they wanted to bring it back a little bit more to a realistic model. And you would also argue that the PTO is probably not so realistic on it, but they've included that anyway. So yeah, so functionally speaking, the units are effectively exactly the same, with some configuration differences. So what are my opinions of the new 2017 edition of the GTX LS Modcompany Big M? I'm a bit torn. I do love the new look, the new textures, the new detail in it. Looks fantastic. However, I am a little disappointed that the options aren't available in this version as were available in the old one, as in color configuration, also the engine upgrade. Well, that's not really a biggie, but yeah, I'm a little disappointed that the color options aren't there. My big disappointment is the extendable hitch, and I take it, I understand what GTX was saying in relation to making it a bit more realistic, but you know what, it was more functional with the extended hitch. And for me personally, that's the reason why I'm not going to use this new model, because the flexibility that's given to me in using the Big M with the extended hitch is far more of use to me than what it is without. So yeah, I do like the model. Like I said, I do like the mod, and I'm certainly not saying that they've done a bad job with doing this. I think it's fantastic, and I love to see them still bringing them out. But for me personally, I will stick with the older version. I will obviously stick with my personalised version, the Duckzorly limited edition version. But in saying that, I fully encourage anyone that wants a good mowing option to certainly download this model. It is a great detailed looking model, and you can even see here, I mean, even on my screen, it's sort of, you can see it's more crisp just looking at it. The other models come up a little bit more pixelated, even at a distance. But anyway, that is what it is. But that's the GTX LS Modcompany 2017 edition of the Krone Big M. Look, end of the day, can't go wrong with having a Big M. Everyone should have a Big M on every map they play, and that's just my personal opinion. I know there are others that say no, they're crap, but hey, that's my opinion, my video, my review. So go get a Krone Big M. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. Press the like button if you like the review, or if you're not a subscriber and you want to subscribe, please press the subscribe button, which will be coming up on your screen shortly. And to all my continued subscribers, thank you for your ongoing support. More importantly, to GTX Mods, LS Modcompany, and all our other mod makers out there, please continue to do your awesome work, irrespective of whether or not I or anyone else may or may not use your mods. Your work is what's actually keeping this game alive for so many of us. So congratulations to GTX and LS Modcompany for their continued work, and we will see you next time here on the Duckzorly Gaming channel for a Let's Play or mod review, and until then, it's bye for now.